Hi everyone and welcome back. Paul writes in Philippians in chapter 1 about the conflict that he was experiencing in his heart and his life. It wasn't the conflict between personalities, it wasn't the conflict between him and any other situation, but it was the conflict in him. And you see, when God has called you and God has a plan for you, everything about you, your flesh, your mind, your emotions, your own will react, in some cases rebel against what God wants. And that's the conflict. That's the tension that comes into every Christian's life. And if we don't understand the way God works, it's easy to give into that tension and to give up on what God is trying to do in us, with us, and through us. But if we understand that God is working in our lives, He is the potter, we are the clay, and we understand that God is molding us and fashioning us each and every day using all sorts of circumstances and situations. If that is our understanding, then we can allow and we will embrace this tension to be found in our lives. We need to accept it, not struggle against it. And in this attitude of acceptance, we will find rest. That rest that comes from God. We'll never find the rest if we're trying to justify ourselves or explain the situation. We'll never find the true rest if we're looking for plan B or plan C or another way to go. We can only find the rest from God when we accept what He has for us. The psalmist in Psalm 16 says, "Keep me safe, my God, for in you I take my refuge." In you, he says, I take my refuge. I'm not taking my refuge in the circumstance. I'm not taking my refuge in the fact that everything's going well or that people like me or whatever's going on. My refuge is in the Lord Himself. And I may be in a place of struggle and tension, and I may be in a place where God is putting His hand on my life and saying, I want to change you. I want to bring something new into your life. I may be in that place, but in there, I can still find the rest that God has for me. That's why He encourages us in Hebrews chapter 4. He says, there remains therefore a rest to the people of God. Jesus went before us. Jesus, our high priest, secured a place for us in the heavenlies. He has opened the door for every one of us. We need to follow Him and to stay in rest, knowing that He will never leave us nor forsake us, and knowing that as we put ourselves in His hands, we can be confident, we can be assured, we can have faith that He's begun the work, He will complete it. What a blessing. I encourage you today to have a restful day. May the Lord bless you.